President Kashim Shettima, Ulama Jama'atu Izalatul Bidala wa Ikamatis Suna Jibwis, Sheikh Sani Jinga, Senator Shettima emphasized the administration's determination to fostering national unity and progress. Senator Shettima, who was in Jos to commiserate with Sheikh Jingi over the death of his close associate, Sheikh Seidu Jingi, commended the Plateau State government's peace-building efforts. While offering prayers for the repose of the soul of the late Sheikh Seidu Hassan Jingi, who served as the Deputy National Chairman of the Ulama Council of Jibwis, the Vice President also prayed for peace, stability, cohesion, and progress across the nation. Earlier in his speech, Sheikh Sani Jingi expressed profound gratitude to President Tinubu and Vice President Shettima for their show of compassion during this difficult period. The federal government has announced plans to impose financial penalties on owners of unoccupied buildings as part of efforts to reduce Nigeria's housing deficit. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, who announced this to newsmen, said property owners who fail to lease or sell their vacant buildings might face higher ground rent charges. Mr. Dangiwa revealed that to drive the policy, the ministry was conducting a nationwide census of unoccupied buildings, which he said will soon be completed, adding that legal experts were reviewing the best approach to implement the measures without infringing on property rights. The minister said the government was also cracking down on contractors delivering substandard work on the Renewed Hope City housing project, disclosing that some contractors have been using poor quality materials and cutting corners expecting to fix defects later during plastering. He explained that the Federal Ministry of Housing and has strengthened its supervision structure with liaison offices in all 36 states, staffed by experts, including architects, quantity surveyors, and builders to ensure compliance. Mr. Dangiwa pointed out that the government's decision stands signaled as swift towards stricter housing regulations aimed at tackling both. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has emerged winner of the Independent Award for Best Woman of the Year 2024. Receiving the award at a gala night yesterday in Lagos, Mrs. Tinubu dedicated the award to Nigerian women and youths for their timeless contributions to the growth and development of the nation. The President's wife, represented by the wife of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mrs. Fatima Tajuddin, said Nigerian women and youths were the nation's unsung heroes. She thanked the board of the Independent newspaper for the honor. At the occasion, a total of 36 individuals, organizations, government CEOs, and managing directors were honored for their contributions to Nigeria's development. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State emerged Independent Man of the Year. Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State was awarded Governor of the Year, Urban Renewal, while Governor Basi Otu of Cross River clinched the award for Economic Transformation, with Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State receiving the Governor of the Year 2024 Solid Minerals Development, alongside other awardees. In entertainment, Bukimi Adeaga Ilori, popularly known as Kiki, was awarded Social Media Influencer of the Year, while in business, Chairman of Globacom Otumba Mike Adenuga was recognized among others in the sector. The Independent Newspaper Awards recognizes landmark achievements in politics, entertainment, business, and education, among other sectors. In a related development, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has called on accomplished Nigerian women, particularly female athletes, to mentor and inspire young girls, fostering a culture of perseverance and excellence. speaking at the State House in Abuja while receiving a delegation from the Nigeria Customs Service and the National Sports Commission, Senator Tinubu stressed the importance of women uplifting others as they advance in their careers. The delegation, led by Comptroller General of Customs, Mr. Wale Adeniyi, visited the First Lady to confer on her the title of Grand Patron for the 2025 African Women's Volleyball Championship, set to be hosted in the country this year. Mrs. Tinubu acknowledged the vital contributions of female athletes to Nigeria's sporting success, urging the women to share their journeys and struggles with young girls to inspire the next generation. Highlighting the growing presence of women in leadership roles, the First Lady noted that 3 of the 4 Deputy Controllers General present were women, describing their achievements as a testament to Nigeria women's strength and determination. Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Anyagu, has taken the opposition in the state to task for being out of touch with the realities in the state. Speaking on a national television program, Mr. Anyagu said that opposition's narratives demonstrated a lack of engagement with the state's current developments. The commissioner added that Governor Sheriff Oborevwori's impressive record in infrastructural and human capital development achievements were a more effective response to political critiques than engaging in early political debates. He said Governor Oborevwori was redefining governance in the state by ensuring fulfillment of promises made to the people during the electioneering campaigns. The commissioner said the governor's preoccupation was to ensure that while development was taking place, peace and security was not compromised. On Delta's internally generated revenue IGR, Mr. Anyagu said Governor Oborevwori raised the state's IGR from 75 billion naira to 150 billion naira in less than 2 years. The Anambra state government has made it clear that it has not banned evangelism, but is only taking action against noise pollution. The government's response came after a video of Governor Chukwuma Soludo confronting a street preacher in a market went viral recently, sparking debate across the state. In the video, Professor Soludo told the preacher to stop making noise and reminded him that there was a law against noise pollution. He advised the preacher to take his activities to a church or a designated space instead of disturbing people in public places. The governor also warned that anyone who broke the law could be fined 500,000 naira. Some religious leaders and human rights activists criticized Governor Soludo, claiming that he was trying to stop people from preaching about God. However, the Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Law Mefo, has explained that the governor's action was misunderstood. Mr. Mefo pointed out that Professor Soludo was only enforcing the Anambra State Public Health Law 2006, which banned excessive noise in public places like unnecessary disturbances. The commissioner also reminded the public that in 2019, a court in Nnewi upheld the law when a church was fined for causing too much noise, stressing that Governor Soludo was only asking everyone to follow the law and respect other people's rights. He stressed that churches and preachers could still spread the gospel, but must do so in proper locations, while markets and public places should remain peaceful so that traders and residents could go about their daily activities without loud noises. Excuse me. The government asked to disregard false rumors and understand that the law was meant to ensure a peaceful environment for all, and that anyone who broke the noise pollution law will face a fine or other legal consequences. Plans are on the way by the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, to introduce specialized software aimed at ensuring that students with disabilities in institutions of higher learning can fully take advantage of its loan scheme. The Managing Director and Chief Executive of NELFund, Mr. Akintunde Sawyer, disclosed this during a stakeholders' engagement on student loans in Benin City, Edo State. He said the act establishing the loan scheme guaranteed equal opportunity for all, adding that NELFund will collaborate with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities to ensure more inclusivity for such persons. During the event, which brought together religious leaders, parents, persons with disabilities, government officials, teachers, and community representatives, Mr. Sawyer described the initiative under President Bola Tinubu's administration as a transformative step for education in Nigeria. He reiterated the government's commitment to making tertiary education accessible to all Nigerians, stating that President Bola Tinubu came up with the initiative that no Nigerian student anywhere in the country should be deprived of the opportunity to gain tertiary education because of lack of money. In his remarks, the Edo State Deputy Governor, Mr. Dennis Idahosa, commended the federal government for making the student loan scheme a reality. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has intercepted cocaine hidden inside prayer beads and locally made shoes. The agency disclosed that the suspects were intercepted while trying to transport the illicit substances. Femi Babafemi shared pictures of the seized contraband on X.com today, saying in the holy month, when people were consecrating themselves and making supplications to their God, some persons were preoccupied with concealing cocaine in prayer beads and other items to desecrate the precincts of the Holy Land. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has faulted the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, for allegedly misleading the public over power outages in some parts of Edo State. A statement by the TCN's General Manager, Public Affairs, Ms. Ndidimba, in Benin City, said that TCN's maintenance work had nothing to do with the blackout experienced by BEDC's 33 kV customers. On March 14, BEDC claimed that TCN's maintenance activities were the cause of power outages in Sapele, Abraka, Ugeli, Shell, and industrial areas through its social media platform. Ms. Mba explained that TCN only requested a planned outage on March 11 at the Amukwe transmission station, which was completed the same day and power was restored. She emphasized that TCN's maintenance had nothing to do with power delivery to BEDC's customers. The General Manager stated that the only valid statement in BEDC's publication was regarding the Ugeli Shell 33 kV feeder T160 MVA, which tripped off due to a fault on March 14. Ms. Mba disclosed that TCN was currently working to restore bulk power supply to the affected feeder. She emphasized that other areas mentioned by BEDC in their release experiencing power delivery issues were due to a fault on BEDC's 33 kV feeders. Ms. Mba urged BEDC to provide accurate information to its customers and avoid misrepresentations, stressing that facts should be made clear for the benefit of stakeholders. Ms. Mba reiterated that TCN remained committed to maintaining efficient and reliable electricity transmission across the country for all consumers. An 11-year-old student, Ms. Amazing Grace Salami, from Greenspill International School, Abuja, has won the Spelling Bee in Nigeria spin competition. Ms. Salami defeated 63 other finalists from the United States and international schools in Nigeria to claim the top prize. The acting U.S. Consul General, Ms. Jolene Gorg, announced this at the 2025 grand finale of the inaugural Spelling Bee in Nigeria held in Ikoyi, Lagos, yesterday. SPIN is affiliated with the Scripps National Spelling Bee, which was established in 1925. The competition began in August 2024 with 200 students from 15 schools across the country. This year's event coincided with the 100th anniversary of the United States National Spelling Bee. Ms. Gog, who announced the second runner-up as Ms. Ifeoluwapo Okuboyejo, and the third runner-up was Ms. Naomi Okyuko, said Ms. Salami will represent Nigeria on the global stage at the centennial edition of the Scripps National Spelling Bee in the United States. She will receive an all-expense-paid trip to Washington, D.C. to participate in the historic event, as well as $500 spending money, an engraved trophy, Indomie products, a gold medal, and a one-year Merriam-Webster Dictionary subscription worth $10,000. In her speech, Amazing Grace Salami thanked the organizers for the opportunity and pledged to represent Nigeria well at the global competition, even as she promised to work even harder to make the country proud in the United States. On the foreign scene, Pope Francis has said he is fragile and facing a period of trial as he thanked well-wishers for prayers. In a message today from the hospital, where he has been receiving treatment for pneumonia, the Pope, who had been in the hospital since February 14, sent a particularly personal message to the faithful as he once again missed delivering the traditional Angelus prayer in person. Today is the fifth Sunday the 88-year-old pontiff's condition has prevented him from personally giving the Angelus prayer, which he usually delivers to the crowd gathered in St. Peter's Square following Mass. The Vatican last week signaled that the Argentine pontiff was out of danger after a series of breathing crises earlier in his hospitalization has sparked fears for his life. The Vatican yesterday said the Pope's condition had continued to be stable and was showing progress, adding that he still needed therapies to be administered within the hospital. Back home and in business, operators of feed mills in the country have assured citizens that the price of eggs will soon drop as the cost of poultry feeds continue to decline. President of the Feed Millers Industry Practitioners Association of Nigeria, Ayola Odunta, who gave the assurance in a statement, attributed the development to the federal government's agricultural policies, which he said were beginning to yield results. The statement urged President Bola Tinubu to review tariffs on essential imports in the livestock sector, noting that high duty charges and value-added tax on imported feed additives and raw materials were affecting production costs. It identified double taxation, delays at the airport, and other bureaucratic bottlenecks, among other factors hindering the industry, warning that without reforms, livestock farmers would continue to struggle with high feed costs, leading to job losses, reduced protein supply, and reliance on expensive food imports. The feed mills practitioners commended the federal government for policies that had helped stabilize feed prices, including the improvement in security, the ban on maize and soya exports, and the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development, as well as the recapitalization of the Bank of Agriculture, which they said has strengthened the agricultural value chain. On the entertainment scene, Nigerian fashion designer Oluwaseun Kuforiji has made history by setting the Guinness World Record for the longest sewing marathon. According to reports, he achieved the incredible feat by hand sewing 22 items over 106 hours and 55 minutes. The remarkable sew-a-thon took place in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State from January 22 to 26. Mr. Kufuriji's goal was to highlight the importance of craftsmanship and creativity in the fashion industry, while inspiring others to promote fashion craftsmanship and creativity. And now to our thought for the day. Do not forget those who held the ladder for you to climb up. And that's our news segment of Deadline. I am Prince.